So you want to invest, but you're in debt, and you want to get out of debt, but you feel like you also need to invest, right? Why is life like this? Luckily, you came across this video. We are going to discuss everything you need to consider when making a decision whether you want to pay off your debt first or invest. Stick around to the end to find out if there's a way you could do both. Keep it locked, it's Crystal with the Cash Compass. Alright, welcome or welcome back. I am here to teach you all the financial lessons that school somehow forgot to mention. But who am I to question that, right? Please be sure to subscribe because we go over everything from personal finance to investing to the economy, and the best part is I get straight to it. Alright, so before you can even make this decision, it's really important to have a good understanding of your financial picture. What does that mean? Write down all your interest rates, and this includes your savings, your credit card interest rates, your student loans, any other debt you have. Write all of that down. That's a good practice to have in general when you're trying to pay down loans and pay down debt and get financially free. You need to see what you're working with and how long it will take you to pay all this stuff off. So anything that has some sort of interest rate tied to it, write it down. And honestly, what you really need to do in order to make this work is tap that like button for me. It won't work if you don't do that. That's for real. Alright, so when you're thinking about paying your loans off or investing, consider these factors. What are your financial goals? If you are not really focused on investing, maybe it's not your thing, or maybe you're open to doing it but you just want to get that monkey off your back, then yes, it definitely makes sense to pay off your loans, but don't just stop at making the minimum payments. Be very aggressive. Really see what you can cut out in your budget and what you can really put into paying off your loans ASAPidly. If you're not really interested in investing and you just want to save, you think that investing is too risky, let me be the first to break it to you. Keeping your money in savings is equally, if not even more risky, because we have in this economy what we call inflation, which I don't think people really understand what that is. Like, you literally lose your purchasing power every single year. Do you get what that means? So if you have your money in a savings account, right, inflation is 2%. This is what they tell us. We're gonna go with that for now, right? So basically every year your money loses 2% of its value. You have it in a savings account earning 0.001%. Do you see the mismatch? So you think you're earning that 1 penny a year, but you're actually losing a whole $2 a year. And that ain't right. You have to understand how interest rates work, how inflation works, and see that when you are a saver, you are a loser. Now, this is going to sound a little bit contradictory. This is going to be a little bit of a contradiction, slightly, but just hear me out. If you know you do want to invest, it's really important to at least have some type of savings, right? Because emergencies do happen. You do not want to put your last dollar into investing and then everything just goes kablow in your face and you're left dead, broken, naked. Now, how much you need to save for an emergency is completely at your discretion. I don't know your personal life. So you figure out how much money you need to put on the side, get that, and then you can use the rest of your money to invest. It's important to have an emergency fund that is actual money. Do not think your credit card is for emergencies, because it's not. Credit cards are a tool, which I talk about in this video here. I won't cloud up this video with that. So you want to invest, right? Let's discuss how you can. When you're considering if you should do both, you have to calculate what we call an opportunity cost. So what are your other options for your money, right? If you have credit card debt, I mean, 9 times out of 10, I don't know, unless you have some sort of magical credit card that only has a 1% interest, it makes much more sense to pay that off first. There are very little investments that will get you as large of a return as the credit card interest rates. Credit card interest rates are criminal, okay? 15 to 25 and maybe even more depending on your credit score. So unless you can get some sort of investment that would guarantee you 30%, it's best to pay your credit card off first if you want to do what the financially responsible thing is. But if you have something like maybe student loans or a car loan, which generally have interest rates in single digits, I would say maybe as high as 7%, but normally around there, and you can get a better interest rate, let's say maybe in the stock market, maybe with real estate investing like I talk about in this video, then it might make more sense to just pay whatever your payments are on your debt, but then take that money and invest it somewhere else. Because if your interest rate on your car loan, for example, is 5%, but your money could be making 8% somewhere else, it makes no sense to rush all that money into that debt because you're not maximizing your dollar. Make sense? If you're in a situation where it's like, it's pretty much 50-50, like if I invest my money, I'll make 8%. If my debt is around 8% also, then do both. It really doesn't hurt. And then that way you could probably get even more motivated because you'll see your money growing, your net worth is increasing, and it'll inspire you to be more disciplined in getting this paid off so the most of your money can go to investing. Alright, so let's recap. Regardless of what your financial goals are, if you're looking for what makes the most financial sense, it all boils down to what the interest rate is. You do not want to be shoving a whole bunch of money into something that is not a high interest rate, right? But if you do have high interest rates of your in debt, like I said, the credit cards, you want to pay that off, honestly. It's the best decision you can make. Get rid of that consumer debt so you can take on good debt and you can invest in things that make you money. It's all about the return. Make sure you're tracking what your interest rates are because credit card interest rates, they can change, okay? It's variable. And normally by variable, they means it's finna go up. It's not coming down. It's going to be more expensive. So track what your interest rates are. You can do that by looking at maybe your statements or calling your bank. Stay on top of what your interest rates are. Stay on top of your investments. Are you making the most money that you can make? Investing is not a set it and forget it thing. Don't let them tell you that. Don't just put money in your 401k and leave it alone. You must be very active about your money, okay? That is all for today. If you have some more time though, watch these videos right here. Be sure to subscribe and to like my videos. Please, you are supporting my channel when you do so, and I will thank you with a nice internet hug. That is all for now. As always, keep your money up.